Hello everyone, I'm excited to talk to you about my plan for how I want to reach, what do I want to reach? A2, somewhat of an A2, maybe B1 in Farsi for this upcoming year. Now, I do have projects for wanting to definitely reach around a B1 in Portuguese and a B1 in Russian at the same time. So while I may work on Portuguese and Farsi at the same time, it'll definitely be either before or after I work on Russian, because there's just a lot of moving parts for this year. So I'm limiting myself to, really take my time more with Farsi, get used to the language, even though I am studying a few languages that share similarities with Farsi, just like the vocabulary with Turkish or the more of an Arabic script with the Levantine dialect that I've been concentrating on this year. That doesn't necessarily mean that those will compensate for, how fast or how efficiently I learn this language. And to be honest, I've learned a lot of languages in a lot of efficient ways that haven't been necessarily 100% fulfilling the whole time. So I really want to bring in, with Farsi, a lot of enjoyment and low pressure. So I'm not going to make it a point to reach B1 in 3 months this year. A2 will be what I will be most happy with, but I'll detail how I am using the resources that I'm using and what general timeline I am working with this language in this video here, and want to know as well what you have been using for your Farsi learning journey if you are on the same path. So make sure to write down in the comments below so I can know. So first of all, I'm going to do a lot of input exposure. That's going to be really low pressure, and I'm not going to put pressure on myself either to necessarily understand it. I really just want to listen to the cadence and the rhythm and pronunciation of the speakers. So that's going to mainly involve Peppa Pig. I'm definitely one of those language learners that really gets nostalgic for things that I watched in my childhood, and I find it a really good excuse to just go back to the same series, but just with, a different point of view in a different language this time. I am also going to be using the Pimsleur lessons. I believe they have levels anywhere from 1 to 3 available. So I am going to use those off and on again, like I'm doing actually for Brazilian Portuguese at the same time. And again, just working on my pronunciation and really general feel for the language too. I am going to use a base resource with Farsi. And what I'm looking at right now is mainly the premium version of Persian Pod 101. Farsi is one of those languages where, while there are just resources available, there's not like a huge bucket load of resources everywhere you look, just like for Italian or French or German. That's what I was thinking of the subscription in the first place. And or maybe also combining that with the complete Teach Yourself Farsi that I also love as a textbook series. I am just going to concentrate on finishing either one lesson from Persian Pod 101 or maybe half a chapter from the complete Teach Yourself Persian. Probably concentrate more in the first month around only on Persian Pod 101 just because it has audio with it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be successful in finding audio for the Teach Yourself portion, especially since I just have the PDF online. I'm also going to concentrate on learning to write, but I know that that's going to be a little bit more quick just because I know how to write in Arabic too. And for vocab practice, I'm also going to use the Essentials collection from Closemaster specifically. If you are wondering what that app is, it's one of my favorites for learning vocabulary in general. So I will link a card up here as well for you to watch at the end of this video. My listening resources will be very casual at this point. I did find a really cool YouTube channel called Learn Persian with Chai and Conversation. Seems to have a lot of beginner lessons as well as some lessons designed more for intermediate learners. But I will be definitely trying to listen to real people speaking and where I can just watch them speak as well for how they're moving their mouth and how they're forming the words, etc. I find that really helpful. So I'll definitely include some of that, but again, not on a set schedule. I'll also be listening to the 11 episodes of Spotify's Persian Made Easy, which is definitely, I can tell, geared more towards beginners. And I'll probably include a lot of just, browsing for different Persian beginner resources. I do have the Libby app, which is available in the United States if you do have a library card. And so I think just browsing in general for new resources, especially since I am not putting pressure on myself to learn Persian necessarily strictly in up until B1 for 3 months. I think it's really fun to just get a variety of listening resources, and I know that there's a lot of audiobooks on Libby for that. I feel like I am, again, doing a less structured approach for this language than I am with Portuguese and Russian. But again, I just want to bring in more low pressure for this language in particular, especially because I was going really intensively at language learning this previous year. Write me any other advice that you have if you are learning Farsi yourself. I look forward to it all, and we'll see each other in another video soon.